before we get things started, I am trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of December. So if you see the video, you like the content, hit that subscribe button. You know, help a brother out. Hit that subscribe button. So we have a video today from Rusty Buckets titled "Proof the Bucks Will Win the 2023 NBA Championship." Now, I'm a Bucks fan. If Chris Middleton doesn't go down, the Bucks destroy everybody last year. All right. First things first. So I'm gonna be a little biased in this video. I do think they're going to be the 2023 championship winners, but let's see what Rusty Bucket has to say about it.
Bucks have started off the season as dominant as ever, as they currently hold the second best record in the league and in the Eastern Conference. And since the other side of my original finals pick has been a dumpster fire so far,
Don't give up on them yet. Please do not give up on the Golden State Warriors yet. Curry is playing out of his mind. He just needs either Clay. He needs Clay to play like Clay. Draymond's never going to play like that 2016, 2017 Draymond ever again. He's been out of his prime. He's been washed. But Clay just needs to play like Clay, and they got it. They got it.
Become more and more
don't give up on them yet. Don't give up on them yet.
With the 2023 title. Let's talk about why.
They are. I believe they could have three-peat. I really think they could have three-peat.
To be the best version of this Bucks team that we have seen around Giannis thus far. Let's talk about their defense first, which is where they really hang their hat. And really, that's been where they've hung their hat the past couple of seasons, including, of course, their 2021 championship. But it feels like they're an even better defensive team, which felt like it'd be damn near impossible to be the case. As dominant as the Bucks have been defensively over the past few years, this is somehow the best iteration of that defense. At least a couple of weeks ago, the Bucks were #1 at paint defense in the league. I imagine that has been relatively the same, while also being #2 in three-point shot contests. I can tell you the eye test suggests they're definitely getting out there on the perimeter and, of course, definitely dominating the paint without question. Usually,
and that's big. That's big for today's NBA, because if an opposing team isn't knocking down the three ball, like name me 5 like big men who dominate the paint, who can work in the paint and dominate the paint. You have Joel Embiid. You have Nikola Jokic. And then after those two names, the drop off is significant after those two names. I can't think of a third. I can't really think of a third big man who, if the three ball isn't going in, their team goes to them to dominate inside the paint. So if a team's three ball is not falling in 2023, in 2022, 2023, that team is more than likely going to lose the game. It does not matter. You can work on the inside. You can try to have your it's tons of athletic guards in the NBA. But once again, with the Milwaukee Bucks, they have Brook Lopez on the inside. They have Bobby Portis, who's not a terrible defender. They have Giannis, who's what I believe is still the best defender in the NBA. So it's like even if one of those two things are going well, like the three ball has to go down. You can live with not getting anything close, because as long as you're knocking that 3-point ball down, you're in the game. As soon as you start missing 3-point shots, it's over. It's wraps. It's wraps.
In the NBA, it is not easy to be elite on both the inside and the outside.
AD had a game that day.
Bucks historically,
yeah, 40-4-10. 40-4-10
on the perimeter. But now, not only can they do the interior thing that they've always been able to do, but they can also defend the perimeter and excel at it. With Drew locking down the perimeter alongside Wes Matthews and Javon Carter, who's been a really big addition for them, and Brook Lopez's drop coverage paired with Giannis's all-time help defensive ability has the paint completely on lock. The Bucks have the least accessible paint in the entire league. I say that full well that Anthony Davis dropped like 40 plus on them.
Okay, 44.
But, yeah, normally.
But that's Anthony Davis. That's Anthony Davis.
Video, please be sure to give it a like to show that you liked it, and also subscribe if you want some more NBA
Facts.
content.
That part.
In December.
That part.
In the past, you could
do it for both of our channels.
That's notoriously what the Miami Heat did against them in the bubble. Just 3 after 3 after 3, because the Bucks defense was programmed to overcommit to defend.
And then honestly, with that team, I feel like The team he's talking about, I think that's the 2020 team, the 2020 Miami Heat team. Um, the Bucks defense was outside of Giannis and Brook Lopez and a little bit of Chris Middleton. They had Grayson Allen out there, I believe, and they also had Drew Bledsoe. It's like I despised Eric Bledsoe. I did not like him because he was so non-existent on the defensive end, and then he was so iffy on the offensive end. At least with Drew Holiday, we know he's going to lock in defensively every single night. Because honestly, Drew Holiday's offensive game, probably like this year, he's doing a bit better because Chris Middleton hasn't been on the court, so he's getting a lot more touches. But when he has to share that ball a little bit more, when he can't shoot 15, 20 shots per game, he is very inconsistent. So to see Eric Bledsoe be inconsistent on both sides of the ball, for them to just switch over to Drew Holiday, who was one of the better perimeter defenders in the NBA, and then still have him have a decent offensive game, I feel like that 2020 team was bound to lose. If it wasn't to the Heat, it was going to be to the Celtics. If they ended up making it to the finals, they were going to get blown out of the water by the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'm kind of happy that they just got knocked out in the second round that year. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
But they have realized that Brook Lopez and Giannis is more than enough paint protection to still be the best at it, and they can then focus their perimeter guys on the perimeter. There's no need for Chris Middleton to bring help defense in the paint when Brook Lopez and Giannis are there. Now that they've realized that, they're even more dominant. They have one lineup in particular with an insane defensive rating, that lineup being Drew Holiday, Javon Carter, Grayson Allen, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. Their overall defensive rating is pretty much exactly the same as the defensive rating the Warriors and the Celtics had last year, which, I'd say that's a pretty good sign for making the finals.
Right.
Because they did, point I was making. But defensive rating-wise, those were two fantastic defensive teams. I would argue the Boston Celtics, when Robert Williams was healthy, was an all-time great defensive team, and I think the Bucks are right there with them. But enough of the defense. We all know that the Milwaukee Bucks play phenomenal defense. Let's talk about that. The other side of the ball. As for their offense,
and this is without Chris Middleton,
because
Chris Middleton just came back in this Lakers game.
Giannis is utilized. How much he should function as a big versus a ball handler on the perimeter. It has been a difficult balance, and I felt as though they leaned way too much on the perimeter aspect of things earlier on, but the Bucks have found that perfect mix to maximize Giannis's abilities as a player at this point. Their roster is built to allow Giannis to succeed at his strongest,
look at that
and the system they're running is finally allowing him to freely be the best version of himself. And mind you that all of this has been with the Bucks not having their second best player.
Not having Batman.
They just got
Batman back.
They have been the second best team record-wise without
Batman.
Best player.
With Robin just doing his thing. Good old Robin just doing his thing. They're the second best team in the East. Now that we have Batman back, Middleton. Yeah, Batman. We have them back now. They're going to be dangerous. They are going to be dangerous.
Now, the offense overall could use some improvement. They are currently
17th
on that end of the floor, which is definitely far from ideal and easily the biggest knock you would put on this team going into the playoffs. However,
their three ball needs more improvement.
Their second best player. I mean, I guess some people think Drew Holiday is better than Chris Middleton, but second best player.
That's crazy.
And honestly, I could almost spin that positively because that goes to show just how good their defense is, because they're still 5th in net rating, even though their offense is that mid. But honestly, I think you throw Chris Middleton back in there and just polish it up a little bit, put some more focus out in there, and suddenly that offense might not look so mediocre. I definitely think they can get to like 10th at some point. I really only think the Cavaliers are a team that can put up a defensive team that rivals the Bucks. The Celtics very well could do it to close the season, but they've not been very good on that end thus far and just been dominating the offensive side of the ball. But the Cavaliers currently have a better defensive defensive rating by literally 0.1 over the Bucks. So it's not like it's by a huge margin, but with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell trying on that end.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell is trying to play defense this year?
I definitely think it's possible that the Cavs can finish as the better defensive team by the end of the year. But, you know, the Bucks are, either way, they're awesome, is the point.
The Cavs are going to be scary, too.
Incredible Milwaukee defense.
The Cavs are going to be scary.
Being maximized on the offensive end, and it's becoming harder and harder for me to bet on any other team, and that's with the league being as stacked as it is. However, counter to that level of being stacked, at the same time, I feel like it's not as top heavy, and that leaves the Bucks pretty nearly alone towards the top. The Golden State Warriors are still fighting to be solidly in the playoffs. The Clippers, who knows when Kawhi is back, as well as Paul George. And the Suns, they just don't scare me. They really never have. The Cavs are cool, but I don't think
Suns just got blown out by the Phoenix Suns. So
the Clippers,
I mean, the Suns just got blown out by the Phoenix Suns. The Suns just got blown out by the Dallas Mavericks. So that's their kryptonite.
Are the team in the West that probably has the best shot, but where do they even really begin with defending Giannis? They're not hopeless in that department, but they're not exactly.
If the Nuggets make it to the finals and they have to go up against Giannis, who's going to stop him? And then if you build a wall, he can just kick it out. The three-point shot isn't automatic on this team, but they have really good three-point shooters. Like I said, Grayson Allen, good three-point shooter. Bobby Portis, he can stretch the floor at that stretch floor position. He can knock a couple shots down. Brook Lopez, he's tremendously improved his three-point shot over the past. Like, he's become a three-point big now. Did I already say Jrue Holiday? Jrue Holiday, he can be inconsistent, but Jrue Holiday still can knock those shots down. So you still have to respect his three ball, and Chris Middleton. Like, come on. You can't just build a wall anymore. That's not a thing. It worked one time because the Bucks team was bad. Well, they weren't bad, but Giannis had never seen that before. The team had never seen somebody like a team like the Miami Heat build a wall and do that. Because every time since a team wants to build a wall against Giannis, it's not worked out in their favor. Unless you're talking about the Boston Celtics last year. But that's because I've said it before and I'll say it again. The team completely sold. They had that Game 7 won. They had to play historically bad from 3 to lose that game. And that's what they did, and that's why they lost. But building a wall on Giannis, it does not work. So if the Denver Nuggets end up making it to the finals, it's wraps. It's wraps.
You know, built to defend that guy. And the only team that I really feel possesses a serious threat to this team is the Boston Celtics. Yep. But that is a video for another day.
But I don't even think the Celtics, I don't even feel like the Celtics that big of a threat. Giannis took them to 7 games without Chris Middleton. With Jrue Holiday playing. Like, hold up. Let me just go look at something real quick. All right. So I don't know how to pull up every single person's stats. Like, I don't know how to pull up team stats from that. But if you look at Jrue Holiday in that Boston series, I don't think Jrue Holiday played that great. I mean, like, you can see he scored over 15 points every game. But it's so much more that goes into that than just him being able to score. I mean, I hope when you put up 20 shots, you at least score. I hope if you put up 20 shots, you're scoring more than 19 points. It shouldn't take you 20 shots to score 19 points. If you're putting up 30 shots, you should not be scoring 25 points. You're putting up 22 shots and only scoring 16 points. Like, these are high-scoring games, yes, but they are not efficient. You can score as much as you want to, but if you are not efficient, you will not win that game. So Jrue Holiday had a terrible series. And in that last game, he was 0 for 6 from 3, 9 for 21 from the field. He had to take 21 shots to get 21 points. And what I say earlier about the 3 ball, if you're not knocking down the 3, you're not going to win the game. And Jrue Holiday wasn't the only one that was sucking. I mean, like, if I could pull up everybody's Game 7 stats, which I might do because he's done with his video. But just to I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get everybody's Game 7 stats. All right, now we have Brook Lopez right here. 15 points on the game, 6 for 12. He shot 50% from the field, but he was 1 for 6 from 3. So as of right now, as a total, they're 1 for 12 from 3 right now. All right, now right here we have Grayson Allen. He shot 0 for 6 for the entirety of the game. Only had 1 point in 21 minutes. Shot 0 for 4 from 3. So you have really their top, I want to say this, not really their top 3 shooters on the team, but people that you look to be able to bail you out to hit a 3-point shot once that defense collapses. And they were 1 for 16. Them losing that game had nothing to do with Chris Middleton not being able to play. Them losing that game had nothing to do with Chris Middleton's injury. Nothing at all. That had everything to do with them just being, like I will keep on saying it, they had to be historically bad from 3 to lose that game. And they were historically bad from 3 and they lost that game. How much did they lose by? It was 81 to 109. Oh, you can see everybody's stats here. Okay, thank you. Wesley Matthews, 3 points. Oh, we can just see right here. 3-pointers. 4 for 33. 12% from 3. While the Boston Celtics shot 22 for 55. Like you cannot win a game making 4 threes. 10 years ago, yeah, that's a dub probably. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 4 threes, you're going to get blown out. And they got destroyed that game. But once again, they had to shoot historically bad for them to lose that game. Then Giannis had 25 and 20. But honestly, Giannis didn't even play that great that game. He had a great first quarter. He didn't have a great game. But I'm just it irritates me every time I see this score because they had this game. They had this series. They went to 7 games with the Boston Celtics without their second best player. They would have won the championship. But yeah, you can't live in the past, man. Can't live in the past, man. But yeah, I just hope in a perfect world, I hope everybody's healthy this year. I don't want any excuses for injuries. I don't want any excuses for this happened, so we couldn't do this, and y'all got lucky because Kevin Durant wears a size 16. If he only wore a size 15, then I don't want any of that this season. I want everybody to be healthy, and I want no BS excuses. And we're going to see how great Giannis Antetokounmpo and this Milwaukee Bucks team is. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, feel free to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you're a Bucks fan. And if you think the Bucks are going to win the 2023 NBA championship, be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.